Hi guys, just taken receipt of my Bruntons propeller. It's just come back having been serviced after a hard season last year. Let's take a look. Beautifully boxed. So well boxed, in fact I can't open it. Wow, look at this. Look at this. I think they've sent the wrong one back. Isn't that amazing?
It looks like it's a new one. Are you sure it is the right one?
It looks amazing. I mean, they're beautiful. I wish I'd ordered two, one for the boat and one for the mantelpiece. Absolutely beautiful.
So that's all been shot blasted, Will. So we just use this special plastic bead, and that just cleans off all the crud. I mean, you saw what it came out. It was just full of crud. So.
It was awful. Yeah. It had, like I say, it had a hard season. That has come back looking pretty spectacular. I mean, just meticulously engineered. Look at it. It's an absolute work of art. Let's get it on the boat. Before we fit it, we've got to take the anode out. Very simple 3 nylon screws. 3. And then out it pops. And the nut is inside.
You need to
which I'm just gonna. There's a locking here. It locks the nut. I'm just gonna ease that off. And the nut should pop out.
Brilliant.
Okay, so pretty straightforward. Put the key in, and then just make sure that the slot is lined up with the key, and just very gently slide it on. This is Dave Shepherd from Bruntons, the oracle of all propellers. Dave, nice to see you.
And you, Will.
He's going to show us how to put the nut on.
Okay. So pretty straightforward. I'll just come around and do it. Got a little extension bar on there just so that we can get the nut up there. We will wind it on, and then we'll need to find a little bit of wood to wedge between the hull and the propeller, just to give it a little bit of leverage, just to make sure it fully goes home. Okay, well, now's the time for the little bit of wood. Okay, so I'm just going to put a bit of welly on it. Okay, job done. So that's the locking screw. So that actually locks onto the barrel or onto the hexagonal part of the nut, and it stops that nut from turning.
Okay.
So it's completely fail-safe. We'll just put a little bit of Loctite on there. There we go. Right, okay.
A little bit of Loctite, and we just do this up, Dave.
Just do it up all the way up until it grips the nut.
And then,
Job done.
that's it?
Yep.
Amazing.
That will never come off.
And that's it.
That's it.
There we are, folks.
Put the anode.
Oh.
You can paint this, Will, if you want to.
Yeah.
And the finish has already got a finish on it for painting, if that's what you choose to do.
So you don't need a primer.
You will need a primer,
Yeah.
but this finish is already set for putting the primer straight on.
Okay, to prime and then
Prime and then
anti-foul.
anti-fouling, whatever you decide to use. The only problem with anti-fouling is it doesn't ever stay on there
No.
because of the highly erosive qualities of the propeller.
Yeah.
Things like Prop Speed and Prop Gold, that's like a silicon cover.
Yeah.
Prop One, it's another Australian one, it's very good.
Okay.
And but you need a very controlled environment to apply it. I mean, today would be perfect to put it on
Okay.
because it's nice and warm and it's all spotless and clean.
And then maintenance-wise, Dave, do I need to do
Grease.
anything else?
Pump the grease in there
Yeah.
with a special grease,
Yeah.
ordinary grease nipple.
Yeah.
Grease in, grease out,
Okay.
and then just rotate the blade while you do that. So you need to ideally do that each season,
Okay.
whenever you lift the boat out.
Okay.
And then eventually the bearings are changeable, they will wear. Generally for this model, upwards of about 700 engine hours.
Okay. So that's quite a few seasons for us then.
So normally we reckon it's about 5 seasons or so. A kit you can buy from us online shop.
Yeah.
With all the tools.
Yeah.
It's something you can do yourself.
Yeah.
You know, if you are in the middle of nowhere, a lot of people that tend to navigate or tend to circumnavigate, and they take the parts with them and change out the bearings and the seals when they're sort of halfway around there.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
And you can order those online.
Yeah. So here we go. So Will's fitted his Autoprop, which he's had for several years, and it's all been serviced, all good to go. The new addition is the rope cutter. Now what's important is when you fit the rope cutter that you keep a distance between the cutlass and the forward face of the rope cutter. Because generally with a propeller, if you don't have a thrust bearing in the boat, the engines on soft mounts, it can move up and down the shaft line. Generally a few millimeters is all it does. So always keep the face off there. That face can sit directly on the Autoprop face, that's fine. Although it's a 3-blade propeller, it's got a 2-blade cutter, that's more than adequate. You don't need a blade, in my opinion, for each blade of the propeller. As long as you have a very positive cut. You know, you've got a very sharp edge with a striking plate. Anything gets in there will get cut up quite easily. So basically, with the Autoprop, what it does, firstly, when you're sailing, it takes the least line of resistance. So it feathers with the flow of the water, like a flag in the wind. It just takes the least line of resistance. And to do that, you leave it in forward gear with a conventional mechanical gearbox, and that locks the shaft. If you want to take it out of gear to use it, then you just put it into neutral and start the engine. If it's an emergency, you can start it in gear. What the Autoprop does is it varies its pitch angle. That's why it's so different from anything else. And so it optimizes its pitch based on the water flow and the centrifugal force that deploy the blades. So as those two forces are balanced, it changes its pitch angle. So what that gives the user is better economy, better fuel efficiency. You can basically run at faster speeds at lower RPM. In reverse, it takes 1 revolution for the blades to find the new position. So there's no delay when going into reverse. And again, you have the leading edge leading. So stopping, maneuvering is much better than a conventional propeller, which effectively is using the trailing edge to lead in reverse. It's vastly inefficient. It's like flying an airplane backwards, upside down. So this is very good for stopping, maneuvering. Generally gives you a little bit less prop walk initially because it's got less pitch built into it. Fixed prop is like a paddle till the water's moving over it. So this will reduce your prop walk. It's a bit more controllable. If you use the higher revs, you might still get a little bit of kick. So generally with the Autoprop, you can expect higher sailing speeds over a fixed propeller, better fuel economy. Motor sailing is where it really comes into its own, because what it does there is it recognizes the driving force of the sails. It takes a course of pitch, which means you can run the engine at a lot slower RPM and still delivering drive. Whereas a conventional fixed propeller, you have to overspeed it to catch up with the driving force of the sails. So that's where it really comes into its own. There's no other propeller that does what this does. So if you're looking to invest in an Autoprop, it's going to transform the performance of your boat, motoring, sailing, and motor sailing.
So I mean, I've had a fixed prop, a feathering prop, and now the Bruntons prop. I mean, the fixed prop was great, but for sailing conditions, for motor sailing, it was awful. So 2 years ago, I switched to a feathering prop, and two things I'd say about that. First thing is, this is a Rival 36. It's a heavy boat, and we do quite a lot of motor sailing. It massively underperformed, and our fuel consumption was through the roof. So we weren't exactly over the moon with it. The propeller, wasn't particularly expensive compared to a Bruntons, but actually by the time I ended up adding up the additional diesel and the frustration, so if you're in a lumpy sea or a bit of tide,
losing thrust.
we really noticed it.
I can explain why. So with a feathering propeller, you've basically got flat blades.
Yeah.
And if you look at a conventional propeller, they've got twist in the blade. And it has to be efficient. And with a flat blade, effectively, you've got a very high pitch at the tip of the blade and a very shallow pitch at the root. And And what happens is that it's actually very inefficient because of that, because there's no twist to the propeller. And so, because you're getting improvement on sail because of the feathering prop, but you're losing under power big time. And that's the trade-off for low drag.
It's not a trade-off worth making. I mean, in my view, I mean, the other thing I'd say is we rather unfortunately ran over a lobster pot just off Den Helder, and I picked up some probably, I don't know, 7mm perhaps, 10mm max probably, and it
You didn't have a rope cutter.
I didn't have a rope cutter, but the damage to the feathering prop was really significant. The blade was basically cracked, indented. It was a write-off. So I ended up being lifted out in Amsterdam. The propeller went in the bin.
Yeah.
And
you'd had it 2 years.
And well, that was our second season, so
okay.
not even quite 2 years. Since we fitted the Bruntons, I mean, we're absolutely over the moon with it. Our fuel efficiency is, I mean, I want to say halved. It's probably more than halved.
We generally say 20-25%.
Wow.
But that's conservative because all boats are different.
And the Rival is a heavy boat, you know, so it needs a bit of grunt, particularly in a chop. We do
short choppy sea.
Yeah, and it's absolutely incredible. I mean, we feel so much more assured now in terms of performance, but also kind of durability. The way this is engineered compared to, say, the feathering prop, it's in a different league.
And another thing, you know, if you do hit something solid with this propeller, so we use them on quite a few boats that are going up into the ice. And if you hit a block of ice, the blade can move out the way. As soon as it impacts onto the ice, the blade can move.
Yeah.
And not only that, the material we use is called super steel, which is used for propellers for icebreaking ships.
Right.
So it is very good for any impact damage.
Hopefully we won't be sailing that far north.
No,
but
well, a lot of our customers do.
We also took the opportunity whilst we were at it to fit the rope cutter.
Well, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
You know,
So we absolutely love it. It's been amazing. And by the way, Bruntons, the support for Bruntons has been absolutely first class, both technically but also, you know, providing support and servicing and what have you. I mean, they're just top of the game.
Well, thank you for that. Really appreciate it.